Hey everyone, I'm King. Welcome back to KingSpade channel. So I know you have been eagerly awaiting the Super Novice release on the SEA server. We all have been eagerly waiting for its release, initially scheduled for March 30th. But hold on to your hats because there's been a slight change of plans. Just recently, the game developer announced that the release has been postponed to April 4th. However, do not worry. I got you covered with all the exciting details on this versatile new job class. The Super Novice has just been released on the Taiwan server on March 28, and I got exclusive access to show you everything you need to know about this new job class. So without delay, let's dive right in and explore the power, skills, and strategies that the Super Novice brings to the world of ROX. I will be giving you a detailed walkthrough of the Super Novice abilities, skill set, and the unexpected shadow equipment that comes with this class. First off, if you had been following me, when reviewing for any new job class, I always like to start by checking out the recommended start point allocation page. It's a good way to start when reviewing any job class. This will give us a solid foundation for understanding on how the game developers intended this class to be played. It seems like the Super Novice can be built into 4 distinct types. Pretty interesting, right? So let's break them down and explore each of these builds. First up, we have the penetration physical attack build, focusing on maxing out strength and dex stat points. Not much description is provided. Next, we have the critical physical attack build, which maxes out strength and AG stat points. Alright, from the looks of it, although there's no further description given, we can assume that the first build is geared towards H-type penetration build, utilizing skills to deal massive damage. And the second build appears to be your typical fast attacking critical normal attack type, perfect for those who enjoy dealing rapid damage to the targets. Moving on, we have the physical attack, combat or battle novice build. Last but not least, we have the fighting magic attack build. The details are a bit sparse, but it's likely that these two builds focus more on PvP gameplay, providing a versatile and powerful option for players who enjoy taking on other players in PvP arena. Alright, essentially, the Super Novice is an all-rounded class that offers a variety of builds to suit your playstyle. However, it's not immediately clear which weapons they use for each build from this picture. The Super Novice can excel in both physical and magical attacks, meaning they can use a variety of weapons. To find out, the shadow equipment can tell us exactly that. So let's look at the shadow equipment. I wasn't expecting this. The Super Novice has 4 distinct shadow equipment options. The first one is Dagger with shield. This is exciting. Now, when the ROX job class was announced, many were hoping it could use a shield with a dagger, but it turned out they couldn't. Now look at this, the Novice can use a dagger and shield. Next up, Mace with shield, one-handed sword with shield or one-handed axe with shield. Wow, I can't wait to see what skills this shadow equipment have. And lastly, one-handed staff with shield. If we follow the sequence from the recommended start allocation page, the dagger and shield could be a H-type penetration build. The mace with shield could be fast attacking normal attack crit damage build. The one-handed sword or one-handed axe with shield could be a physical attack type PvP build, and the one-handed staff with shield will be a magic attack type PvP build. However, we can't be certain about these builds yet. We need to look closer at the skill associated with each of the weapons shadow equipment. But to understand all of the skills in the shadow equipment, we first need to know what are the exact skills that the Super Novice can use. So let's look at all of the Super Novice skills first. We will go back to the shadow equipment after that. Alright, Super Novice is a hybrid class that combines the skills from all other classes in the game. That's right, they have access to a huge range of skills. I bet you are already familiar with all of these skills because they are skills from the other classes. I assume that by just looking at the skill name, you already know what the skill does. So to save time, I am not going to review the skill one by one. I am just going to show you the skill with its translated English name. The Super Novice have a lot of skills, so I think this is the best way to showcase all of the Super Novice skills. And I actually make the skill name in color code, so you instantly can easily identify from which class the skill is taken. Alright, now if you are looking at the skill set for the first time, it can be a little confusing, especially on the skill that the weapon can use. For example, the bash skill is supposedly the skill for the knight job class. It can be used with equipping the weapon sword. But if you look at the skill description, it also stated here that it can be used by equipping the Dagger, one-handed mace, and one-handed axe weapon. Similar to the enchant poison skill, this is a skill that used by assassin with equipping dagger or katar. But at the skill description, it stated that it can also be used by equipping one-handed sword, one-handed mace, and one-handed axe weapon. Outrageous, right? Well, these have to do with the shadow equipment. Some skills are shared between different type of weapon shadow equipment. So after some inspection, the weapon and skill relation can be broken down into 3 types. For Super Novice, all active physical attacking skill can be used by equipping one-handed sword, dagger, one-handed mace, and one-handed axe weapon, with exception on some active buff skill that also can be used by these weapons, like Aspecio skill and Gloria skill. All active magic attacking skill can only be used by equipping one-handed staff weapon. And lastly, all passive skill can be used by equipping all type of weapon that the Super Novice can use, with exception on some active buff skill that also can be used by all type of weapons, like the blessing skill, magnum break, open shop, and hiding skill. I know it's weird and confusing, but I'm just going to leave it there and let you process it. And like I said, it is mainly because of how the skills in the shadow equipment are put together, alright? Having said that, let's go back to the shadow equipment. Let's start with the dagger with shield shadow equipment. The skill description is self-explanatory, so again, I'm not going to review it one by one. I'm just going to let the video show it to you. But I'm going to point out things that I think out of the ordinary or unique for Super Novice. Like for dagger and shield, for example, for the inscription node, notice that it have physical penetration and attack speed stat. So it is not a haste build. The dagger is a penetration type but with fast attacking normal damage build. Alright, so this is what I meant when I said some skills are shared between different type of weapon in shadow equipment. For bound node, the dagger weapon shadow equipment have magnum break skill and increased agility skill, which are the knight and the priest skills respectively. Yeah, it's hard to fathom what is going on. So to not be confused with the Super Novice skill and shadow equipment, you need to think that all of the skills in the Super Novice skill set are exclusive for Super Novice, not assassin skill, not wizard skill, and not priest skill. That way you can understand it better. Alright, let's continue. Next, Mace and Shield Shadow equipment. Looking at its shadow equipment, Mace with Shield is the normal attack fast attacking critical damage build. Next, the one-handed sword or one-handed axe with shield shadow equipment. So now we have physical penetration and hash stat. So this will be the hash skill type penetration build. It makes sense for one-handed axe weapon because most of the axe weapon build as we know it will have hash type penetration build, but it does not quite make sense for one-handed sword. For knight, the hash type penetration build will be using the spear weapon. So this is totally out of the norm. It is quite like my ranger build, don't you think? The long bow should be using the fast attacking normal attack critical damage build, but I use it as a penetration build. So yeah, I think this is what is happening here. And I wish I can use sword at this moment so I can try this build. Let's continue. And lastly, the one-handed staff with shield shadow equipment. This is none other than the Hash Penetration type magic damage build. Alright, what do you think of the Super Novice? Super Novice can use a lot of weapons, have a lot of skills, have 4 shadow equipment. There's a lot to take in. So you can rewatch this video and make sense of all of this information. Find some skill combination that you think is unique, and perhaps you can share at the comment section below which are the build and skill combinations that is the ultimate choice to go for Super Novice. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you for always supporting me and this channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And also don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next video. And as always, happy playing. Bye bye.